What's up, everybody? Jed Johnson here from dieselcrew.com. Of course, you know they call me Napalm, and this is video number 12 in the 31 days of Q&A here at the YouTube channel. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos in this series. Share it with your friends who might be interested in this topic. And by all means, leave comments below giving your opinions. And if you have any questions you'd like to ask, feel free to do so. I might be able to stick your question in there here at the end of the month. Today's question comes from Tom Flesher, and he wants to know, I know in the past you said that Andre the Giant and Rick Rude might have been able to close the number 4. Is there any modern pro wrestler who might rival Andre or Rude in the grip strength department? So what he's talking about, I put up a post years ago, and it was talking about some of the accounts that are out there of Rick Rude's hand strength. So he was a champion arm wrestler, and there were tales about his hand strength in this book that was written by Dave Meltzer. And I'll be darned, I don't remember the name of the book right now, but it was about wrestlers who had passed away, and he kind of did a story up on all of them. And Rude was highlighted in one of these books, and it talks specifically about his hand strength. So I did a post on dieselcrew.com that talked about that. And, you know, Andre the Giant's strength is talked about quite a bit by wrestlers. The man apparently didn't do any type of weight training, strength training at all. He was just naturally strong. But at, you know, upper 6 foot, maybe 7 foot, 300 plus pounds throughout his entire career, and you know, his gigantism, acromegaly that he had, you know, it lends himself to some superb hand strength. Now, have I heard any stories about other guys that are really strong? Yes, and in fact, I used to submit a question to, like, if there was going to be a shoot interview, I would submit questions to the person doing the interview with the wrestlers, and I would always submit whether I would want to know if they'd ever heard of any grip strength feats from any wrestlers, you know, during the interviewee's career. And there was actually one time where my question got featured in one of the shoot interviews with, I believe, Tommy Rich, and I don't remember what he said, to be honest with you. I think I saw it, but I don't think I really internalized what he said. But what I did is I went through and I made a list of some guys who, and I know the question isn't really talking about who might be able to close the 4, but that's kind of what I highlighted here. But I would say that these guys, these 5 people, have the best, probably, grip strength ability for current roster lifters in the WWE. And I don't follow NWA or AEW or Impact. I don't follow any of those companies. I just don't have time. So most of my attention is on WWE. So that's why I've highlighted these 5 guys, because they're all in the WWE. The first one is Brock Lesnar. If there's anybody on that roster who could close number 4, or, you know, do something like an inch dumbbell lift or even a clean, it would probably be Brock Lesnar. The dude's hands are huge. I recall hearing that he would have to get special gloves made when he was in the UFC. And there's no denying his unbelievable strength. The dude is just a genetic masterpiece, and he loves weight training. So, you know, I have zero numbers, no idea what he's done on bench press, deadlift, squat. I don't know. I just know that the guy is a natural athlete, and he's an absolute beast. So I put him at the top of the list. The next one that I put is Braun Strowman. The reason I put him, again, very, very tall individual. I think he's like 6'5", 6'6". I stood near him at the Arnold Classic one time, and he was much taller than me, absolutely enormous. And when he started, you know, he still had the strongman belly fat. So Braun Strowman's real name is Adam Shear, or Cher. I'm not sure exactly how it's pronounced. But that's when I saw him before his WWE career, and he was doing competitive strongman. So he converted into training for wrestling and made his debut, I want to say around 2014, 2015. And, you know, he was a strongman competitor. So he's had, you know, plenty of time doing things like farmers carries, axle work, thick bar work, probably has trained his grip in a dedicated fashion over the years in order to bring up his grip strength for strongman competition. So, you know, I can pretty much, I mean, I wouldn't have any problem believing that he would be able to lift the inch dumbbell. Close the four. You got to remember, guys, like there is so much technique in closing the four, closing any gripper really, that if you hand somebody even a light gripper and they don't know how to position it in their hand, they're not going to be able to close that unless they are absolutely brutally strong. So you have to take that into consideration. But you know, you give me 2 hours with one of these dudes, and I'll have him closing some pretty stout grippers just by technique adjustments. Next one on the list that I thought of is Big E. Phenomenal strength athlete. There's videos up on YouTube where he's doing bench press with like, I'm pretty sure it was like 500 pounds. Bench doesn't necessarily equate to what grip strength you have, but the genetics on this guy, like his chest is just enormous. Like each pec muscle is just enormous. So when you have some kind of a genetic trait like that, you have to believe that there's chances that he has other genetic traits that set him apart from other people as well. So I'm not sure what his hand size is. That information may be out there, but I would just think that he has potential to do some pretty impressive grip stuff just based on, I mean, his legs are huge. Of course, this is all prior to his neck injury that he suffered about a year ago. So, you know, he could have lasting effects from that injury, unfortunately, but I haven't heard any updates about the guy in a long time. Another guy I thought of was Titus O'Neil. So I don't know the specific stats, but this guy was like a really good college football player. I'm pretty sure I heard that on a Jim Ross podcast. And big dude, looks to be about 6'2", maybe, you know, maybe 250. Seems to have pretty good genetics as far as his build is concerned. And, you know, I think those things lend themselves to the person having potential for pretty good grip strength. Close the four, probably not without some serious technique adjustments. But, you know, given his size, given his background, I think there's some potential there. The next one and the last one that I'm going to highlight is a near 7-footer, and I believe he was a former college basketball player, and that would be Omos. So he is of Nigerian descent, and like I said, he played college basketball. And there was an account given on the grip board years and years ago. This is back when I first started doing grip training. I believe it was by John Wood, and he took an inch dumbbell to some kind of a basketball practice, college basketball practice. I don't know what school it was. Maybe Michigan State or something like that. I know that John is from Michigan. And there were a bunch of basketball players who were able to lift the inch dumbbell per this account. So because of that, and with Omos's background as a basketball player, I would say he's got a pretty good chance of lifting the inch dumbbell. You know, if you're not familiar with basketball, those players generally are quite tall and they have very, very large hands. That's just kind of how the natural selection of basketball goes. The hand size, you know, goes right in hand with someone that's playing that sport at that level. So Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, Big E, Titus O'Neil, who isn't really an active wrestler anymore, but I know he's still got some kind of position with the company. makes a lot of appearances, some kind of figurehead. And then Omos, I think those guys have the top chance at doing impressive things with grip. And if anybody knows those people and they want to stop by the gym, I'll run them through some stuff. I'll set some time apart for them. And that's about it. So those are the modern pro wrestlers who I think might be able to rival Andre or Rude in the grip strength department. If you liked the video, give it one of these. Be sure to subscribe, share this puppy around with your buddies. Leave a comment down below. Who do you think might be able to rival Andre or Rick Rude in the grip strength department? Because I'm sure there's people that I missed, not only in WWE, but also in the other wrestling promotions that I don't follow nearly as closely. So I invite you to take some participation in the discussion down below. Thanks, everybody. All the best in your training. Take care.